Okay, I still have this stupid cold. Thank you to my daughter for sharing the love. But anyway, everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm talking about Mariana Zapata. So, she has, I don't know how many books she has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books. And they are chunkers. She is the queen of slow burn. She's the queen of potty humor, and I love her. There's a couple that I pretend that they don't exist, and if you don't like it, well, mind your business. Is whatever. I don't care. I like what I like. There's reasons why I pretend these two books do not exist, and I will talk about them. But I'm going to, when I go over them, I am going to rank them from my least favorite to my absolute favorite. And most of the time, and here's the thing with me, is at a certain point, and I will tell you at a certain point, they're all just 5 stars. And they literally interchange. With the exception of the top 3, those top 3 interchange with each other on any given day. But for the most part, those top 3 are my top 3, and they have not been cracked. But the rest of the 5 stars, they interchange. But the lower ones, those are the ones that have not, and they're just lower. So without further ado, let's just get into the books. The first book that I pretend that does not exist, but does, is Rhythm, Chord, and I can never say this name, Malakin. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, it's about Gabby Moretto. See, she goes on the road with this band. She's the butt of everybody's jokes. This is why I cannot stand this book. And let me just, okay. Instead of going off, I'm just going to read my Goodreads review. And I actually have this unrated on Goodreads. But this is my Goodreads review on this. Is the banter was perfection, because it is. Because Mariana Zapata can write good banter. I mean, she's the queen of slow burn. She's the queen of potty humor. She's the queen of banter. She can write. Her books are thick, but they're fantastic. All right, so the banter was perfection. The relationship was fantastic, but it was overshadowed by the constant body shaming, slut shaming, and the homophobic and transphobic comments. Rhythm, Chord, and Malakin is the rock star version of Animal House. And if you don't know what Animal House is, you're lucky. It's a 1980s horrible, misogynistic comedy about frat boys, basically. It's horrible. Anyway, they touched her stomach and they would call her Flabby Gabby, and they would make all these horrible comments, and I'm just no. It was just a big flat out no for me. And the next one on my list is Lingus. That is nuts. Okay. All right. Okay, so what you didn't see for like the last 10 minutes is me trying to figure out what the heck happened, because I originally had posted this my review for Lingus, because I read it in 2022, saying I read it in 2024. No, but I read it in April 2022. So I liked the concept of Lingus. It's about Tristan and Catherine. Tristan is Lingus. He's a porn star. He has a kind of a secret identity type of thing going on, but there's some problematic elements to the story, because there's shaming for people who liking what they like, and that rubbed me the wrong way. I did like the humor in it. It didn't have a lot of the other problematic elements that the first book had, the one that I really did not like. So yeah, I don't pretend this one doesn't exist. I just don't rate it. And it was her first one, but for her first one, it was okay. The next one, this one, I just think the problem with this one is, and it's Dear Aaron. This one is military and it's epistolary, and it goes to the text, and the emails go to chapter 12, which doesn't put the hero and the heroine together for a very long time, and so I don't get that feeling. And this is Ruby Santos and Aaron, and when they got together, because the banter and the chemistry was there, and Teddy Hamilton was and Kelly Dalton, they were the narrators, so they did a good job. My issue is I just did not like the first 12 chapters, and you have to tell me on the first 12 chapters in order for me to fully invest in the story. I think I gave this one like 4 stars. This one was really good. So it wasn't the worst. I mean, I gave 4 stars. So I enjoyed it. Another one, this one I did not rate, and this one is Luna and the Lie. I know I'm in the minority here. I did not like Rip. I thought him running hot and cold on Luna, especially after her backstory, just rubbed me the wrong way. He rubbed me the wrong way. I did not like him. I really did not like him as a hero. I liked Luna. I did not like her dysfunctional family. I felt like Luna deserved so much better than Rip. And that is where my issue lies with Luna and the Lie. So it's unrated, and it's unrated for a purpose, because I don't want to rant on this book, and I'm not going to rant on this book. I'm going to just say it's unrated for a purpose, because I really cannot stand Rip. As a character, I felt like Luna deserved better. She did. She deserved better than Rip. He was too hot and cold for her, and that made me really mad. The one that I liked better than that, which is most people didn't, was The Best Thing. This was Lenny DeMeo and Jonah. Jonah, if I remember correctly, he was the rugby player. She was a fighter. So she was a fighter. But she got hurt, and so her grandfather, if I remember correctly, his name was Gus, owned a gym, and she helped him run the gym. And Jonah, if I remember correctly, this was the second chance and surprise secret baby. I loved it. I really liked it. It was slower than Luna and the Lie, and I know people were bored with it, but so for me, Gus and his story, and Luna and Jonah, and the way they reacted and the way they came together just made it work well for me. And so that's why I just loved it. And then I liked Underlock. This is her MC motorcycle. This one, he is an ex-con. He's a widower. He's the brother's best friend. This is one of the very few brother's best friends that work for me. And he's her boss. And he works at a tattooer. And this is Iris and Dex. And again, the humor is there. There's a found family aspect that I really loved. And this is slow burns enemies to lover. And then you have the whole rival MC part of this that just really popped off the page, and I just really, really love this. It just made things work for me in this. It was the little things that worked in this. It was just so good. And that's why it was hovering at a 4-star for a very long time, but it was just the little things that made it just go to 5 stars for me. Because honestly, Underlock is where my 5 stars really truly begin. Because actually it's more like The Best Thing and Underlock are really my 5 stars. Is really where my 5 stars really begin. Because the next one, and this is like a hidden gem because most people don't really talk about this one, and it's hands down. This is Zach Travis and Bianca Brannon, and we meet Zach in The Wall of Winnipeg, and he was the roommate, and I fell in love with him in The Wall of Winnipeg and me, and he was having a tough time in this book, and I loved that he was such a cinnamon roll hero. He was such a sunshine character, and he was so sweet. He was such a good character. Mariana Zapata writes assholes. She writes grumpy heroes. She does not generally write cinnamon roll heroes. So for her to write Zach as a cinnamon roll hero, I flipping loved him. I loved him so much. He was such a breath of fresh air for a hero for me, and I just loved him to pieces. So for me, he's worth it, and I highly recommend, hands down. Then I have to talk about When Gracie Met the Grump. When Gracie Met the Grump. Listen, I have major superhero fatigue. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you, Disney. In DC, I just can't, like, it's very difficult for me to even think about a superhero I hate. I just can't. I'm done. I've been done longer than most people in the general populace with superheroes. However, when Gracie Met the Grump, we meet the Grump when his back becomes broken and he crash lands in Gracie's front yard. Gracie is dealing with the repercussions of her parents' really bad decisions, and she's in hiding. And then they end up, there's a lot of caretaking on both sides of this, and I loved the caretaking on both sides. And he's truly a jerk to her because he's grumpy, right? And she's a lot like the other Mariana Zapata heroines. But I loved their banter. I loved the way they talked to each other. I loved the way they worked together. And yeah, this is super slow burn. And yeah, they're super beings, right? But they were not infallible. And I loved it. It was just so good. This is one of the very few superhero things that actually really worked for me. And I highly recommend it. But the next one is From Luke Off with Love. It's not even on my top 4. But with Luke Off with Love, it's Jasmine Santos and Lukov. And it's enemies to lovers. They're skating pairs. They need each other to win the Olympics, right? So Jasmine was about to quit skating until Lukov decides to pair with her, and he's been like the skating champion, and they really do not like each other until they start liking each other, and it's really hate to love, and it is definitely enemies hate to love. It's good. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. It's fantastic, and it's a great sports romance. It's kind of like Cutting Edge, and every time they were going at each other, I kept thinking of the phrase toe pick. So I absolutely love that one. The one that just edged it out for me though was Wait For It. This one is Diana and Dallas. Diana is a single mom to her 2 nephews because her brother dies, and she has custody of her 2 nephews, and she's next door neighbor to Dallas. Dallas is he's really grumpy, of course, but the way he connects with her nephews is so fantastic. And it's just, I love the way that their Diana and Dallas's relationship unfolds naturally and beautifully, and the cast of characters and the way the relationships develop familiarly, and the found family aspect is just so good in this book. And it's just so good, and it's forced proximity because they're neighbors and they have to help each other, and I love it. It's one of her best. Now, my top 3, and my top 3 have not changed, and they do kind of move around, but they're really in no particular order. But I have to say, the one I'm going to talk about first is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. This is Marriage of Convenience. Vanessa worked as his assistant until he became intolerable, and she said, peace out, you're an asshole, I'm done. But he needed to get married because he's Canadian playing American football, and he needed the citizenship. And so he's like, I need you to marry me. She needed her student loans to be paid off, so they made a deal. And very slowly, through forced proximity, because this is a marriage of convenience, they end up falling in love, and I loved it. I loved it. And he was very much grumpy. Then you have Colty. And Colty is, everybody knows about Colty. I mean, Colty is iconic. Sal is a 27-year-old soccer player, and Colty is an international soccer star, and he becomes her coach, and they do not, it's the you should never meet your idol type of a deal. She meets her idol. He is not who she thought he would be, and it's hate to love, and she kind of wants to punch him in the face a few times, and yeah, I would want to too, but this is really, really good. I loved it. I love again, the banter is so fantastic, and the slow burn is so fantastic, and it pays off. You just have to be patient to get there. But one of my absolute top favorites is All Roads Lead Here. This is about Aurora and Rhodes. It is a single dad, small town, and I love single dad, small town anyway, but she is looking for her mom, clues about her mom's disappearance. She rents the room above their garage without him knowing, because his son rents it to her, and he's like, you can't stay here. It's kind of a very funny meet cute, and then it goes from there. And yeah, he is grumpy, but it has opposites attract, but they fit perfectly. And the third act breakup is so relatable in this, and there is a third act breakup, but it's so relatable that I didn't mind it, and I loved it. This one is definitely one of my top Mariana Zapata books. Anyway, so those are my rankings. Those are my thoughts about Mariana Zapata. If you haven't checked her out, you absolutely should give her a chance. Let me know what your favorite Mariana Zapata book down below, if you have one. And if you made it this far in this video and you want to let me know that you've been here, please leave me a soccer ball emoji. And until next time, my friends, happy reading. Bye.